Hey everybody, I'm pretty sure a lot of you have heard by now, and happy Palm Sunday, but I'm pretty sure a lot of you have heard by now that Waveboard, or whatever it's called, along with Capcom and Disney, or Way Beyond, and whatever the company's name is, I'm sure one of you will correct me, but along with Capcom and Disney, is bringing out a remastered version of the Ducktales video game, which was released exclusively on the NES. Now, you might say, oh, well, they're just bringing it out for the NES, right? Or for the Wii, right? And for the Wii and the 3DS, right? No, not really. You see, they're actually bringing it out for all arcade systems, if you know what I mean, all arcade cabinets within all the systems. It's true. They're doing exactly that. Now you might say, well, why are they doing it? Because, as it says right there, Ducktales Remasted game proves Disney Afternoon still is coming. Well, so basically, it's going to say something along the lines of Ducktales Remastered game shows there's still TDA fans, Disney Afternoon fans out there. Old school Disney, if you will. Not really old school, but old school Disney of the 90s that are still out there. Now, you might say to yourself, well, why do people enjoy the Disney? Well, why do you say that? Well, let's take a look over the past few years why I believe there are still fans of TDA out there. Let's take a look at what we've gotten so far. Okay? We've got 3 of the most popular shows the Disney Afternoon ever produced in the past few years, released released with all new adventures, all new stories in comic book form. And we're not just talking regular comic book continuations of continuations. But we're not just talking like, oh, it's just them along with a few new comic exclusive characters and all that they befriend. No. In the case of, let's say, Rescue Rangers, we got a comic book that basically, to me, was like a fan service. Because what we had was, we didn't just have the Rangers. I think we didn't just have the Pirates. I think they made an appearance, I'm not sure. But we had 2 characters that a lot of fans have been wanting to see return in some way or another, officially, and that was Foxglove and Tammy. I mean, heck, the person that made this happen, even when the stories were being written, kind of acknowledged how the fans felt about the Dale and Foxglove relationship, and felt that there was more to them. And basically did something that you only saw, let's say, I can't think of the title. It was in the Foxglove feature. It was a big old story. Or, if you will, for Dale and Foxglove. Can't think of it right now. I think it was Good Times, Bad Times 2 or something like that. I can't remember. Maybe somebody can correct me when they watch it. Correct me, but basically, this fan fiction story kind of took that friendship and took it beyond that, and acknowledged that there is something between them. And this and the comic that came out acknowledged the same thing. I mean, heck, you know what they also did? Triumph Mice and Mayhem. The webcomic created by Chris Fisher. One of the scenes, basically the character of Tammy, who we first and last saw in Adventures in Squirrel City, was portrayed as a nurse. Guess what she's portrayed as in this official Boom Studios release? A nurse. Again, that, to me, was fan service. And then you take a look at the fact that we had a Ducktales series from them. We had a Darkwing Duck series. Heck, we had another comic book company Disney was working as bringing out re-releases of the Gargoyles. Well, not re-releases, but all new comic book adventures of the Gargoyles. It tells you, it shows you, and it tells you that there is still a fan base out there. And that, in my personal opinion, it's the fans of these shows that are making this happen. I mean, the people over at Waveboard or Way Beyond or whatever his name is probably talked to Capcom and Disney and said, look, there is still a fan base out there. There is still a market out there for DuckTales. There is still a market out there for Rescue Rangers. There is still a market out there for Darkwing Duck. Heck, there's still a market out there for the Disney afternoon in general. That is why you've been seeing a lot of this happening. True, the last thing we really... true, the one thing a lot of us fans would like to see is all the volumes, not all the volumes, but all the series completely released on DVD. We would like to see that. We don't want to just be stuck with 2 volumes, you know? And I guess the closest we got is Amazon and iTunes, because apparently they got the complete series of some of the Disney Afternoon series. But morning. But like I said, iTunes and Amazon on instant video-wise have some of the Disney Afternoon series, and this whole new partnership that Disney has with Netflix is going to probably lead to that as well. But the point I'm trying to make, folks, is I feel that, to quote what they said in the Anime Drawing a Revolution documentary, the narrator said that the fans themselves were now the people bringing a lot of this stuff to the big screen, a lot of this stuff to life. And you know what? That's exactly what this one is doing as well. It's bringing a lot of what we wanted back to the forefront. So, again, because, to me it's just, it's just too obvious that the fans, like myself, that grew up with this, are the ones behind this. I'm not denying that. Because it's like they say, the only way, because it's like an old saying, the only way you're going to get something done is to do it yourself. And you know what? That's exactly what these people are doing. And maybe it's also some older people as well that are noticing that there's still a fan base. Because they're a fan base and they're saying, you know what, we need to bring these characters back. And eventually, you got to just pray it happens. It's probably all going to lead to a return to television for these shows. Maybe an all new adventures, all new animation, all new format. Or basically an all new shows and all new adventures. But to me, when you add in the fact that you had Boom Studios release these Disney Afternoon related comics, and you add to that what's been announced this past week, with the Ducktales game being remastered, I think it just proves without a shadow of a doubt, that the fan base is still strong, that one way or another, the older generation, which is myself, and those that grew up with TDA, are having our children check it out and get them to notice how good these shows were. Or, you know. I mean, heck, I went to Disneyland last year. My sister pointed out to me a t-shirt at one of the Disney shops, at the World of Disney shop. And yeah, it was pricey, but it was like, whoa. You know, it was a Ducktales t-shirt. All new. The point is, folks, there's still a fan base out there. Always happened, always will be. I mean, why do you think? I mean, yeah. Let me say this. Do you not think that you notice what's going on with G.I. Joe and the Transformer franchises, and they're saying to yourselves, you know what? Is there still an interest for them? And you know, everything that's going on is helping to bring them back in a huge way. And maybe we can do the same, and that's what. And you know what? You know that was a. And you know what? That's what they've been doing. They've been doing that. They've been bringing it back in a huge way. And just like with Transformers and G.I. Joes, they've been met with success. Which is basically proving why there's still a fan base out there. There's still a market out there for Disney afternoon related shows. In fact, that's probably what the title's going to say out there. You know, Ducktales Remasted proves there's still a market for Disney afternoon shows, or for TDA shows. So, but that's all I'm going to say. I'm heading up to church right now, as you can see. So, that's all I'm going to say, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I'm heading up to church here, so again, that's all I'm going to say. But let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with what I have said here? Because it seems a little too obvious to me. But let me know what you guys think down below. Comment if you like.